Have you ever dreamed of speaking polski, français, or italiano with a perfect accent, just like a native? Oczywiście, że tak. Chcę mówić dokładnie jak Polak. Mais bien sûr, je veux parler exactement comme un français. Ma certo, voglio parlare esattamente come un vero italiano. Viva la mamma! But then you actually speak like this. Oczywiście, że tak. Chcę mówić dokładnie jak Polak. Mais bien sûr, je veux parler exactement comme un français. Ma certo, voglio parlare esattamente come un vero italiano. Lasciatemi cantare con la chitarra in mano. Well, no need to despair, because today you're going to learn 3 surprising smart strategies to improve your pronunciation immediately. Let's dive right in. Smart language strategy number 1. Speak your native language with a foreign accent first. Have you ever found yourself in a situation where a foreign friend of yours imitates your native accent in his own language? Maybe as an American, you made fun of your Italian friend Mario, who moved to New York and sorely misses his mom. Hey Mario, do you miss your mom? No pasta al dente qui in America. And that same Mario comes back at you with a vengeance, imitating your accent in his own native Italian. Sì, mi manca la mamma perché cucina benissimo e qui si mangia solo McChicken e mi sta venendo una panza bestiale. You and lovely Italian friend Mario probably felt amazed, amused, and maybe, just maybe, a tad bit offended by each other's imitation. Behind the common positive and negative emotions that run high when it comes to imitating other people's accents across different languages lies an interesting truth that can be a game changer for your sounding almost like a native in a foreign language. We tend to have a better and more native sounding accent in a foreign language when we imitate a foreigner in our own native tongue than when we actually try to speak that foreign language. I know this is going to sound weird, but here's my challenge. Try to speak your own native language with the foreign accent of the language you're trying to learn. Do it for a week, every day for a couple of minutes a day. Do it with your friends, family members, or language partners. Or if you prefer, just do it to and with yourself. Then come back and leave a comment in the section below and tell me how you feel about the whole thing. This stuff works. Smart language strategy number 2, embrace the tribe. When I was in school, I struggled a lot with my English pronunciation for 2 long years. I sounded more or less like this. I like to play on my Sony PlayStation, and if I play too much, my mama will beat me and my papa won't let me eat any torta della nonna. Then I started working with my American tutor, and after a few months, my accent actually sounded more like this. I like to play on my Sony PlayStation. If I play too much, my mama will beat me and my papa won't let me eat any torta della nonna. Well, maybe not that accent, a bit more standard, but you get the point. So, while I was proud of sounding less and less like Mario, Luigi, or Raffaele, and more like Tom Hanks, Tom Cruise, or Marty McFly, my classmates felt almost threatened by the sudden change. They actually started mocking me for sounding too nasal and un-Italian, too American. And that was the moment where I would make or break my American accent. I had fundamentally 2 choices. Choice A, accommodate their limiting beliefs and their desire to hear me speak like this, or hit the Rocky soundtrack and start speaking like I truly wanted to sound. And that is the route I took. Now, to give you a broader perspective on this, here's what Stephen Krashen, a famous linguist, wrote in his A Conjecture on Accent in a Second Language. Given sufficient input, we can all imitate other dialects of our first language, as well as foreign accents, to at least some extent. The point is that we do not, because we would feel uncomfortable doing so. Our ability, yet reluctance to use accents and dialects again shows that we do not perform our competence fully and that there are powerful effective forces holding us back. Feel free to check the full article in the description box. My point is that a great accent is made in the mind, not through or in your ears. A great accent is not forged through countless hours of deliberate training. It stems, first and foremost, from a genuine desire to embrace another tribe, another way of expressing yourself, through sounds, thoughts, and words. In my case, I wanted to genuinely sound like an American, feel like an American, act like an American. And that, my friends, makes all the difference. Despite the initial mockery, my desire to sound American prevailed. So, something really important to take into account in the sound like a native equation is that in order to acquire native-like pronunciation, you need to develop a burning, subconscious, irresistible desire to fully embrace a new language, its culture, and its world. It's not just about exposing yourself to your target language. It's not just about wanting to sound like a native. It is your drive to feel, act, and be like one that makes or breaks a great accent. 3. Focus on intonation first. The heart of the sound structure of any language lies in its intonation. As often done in school, we miss the forest for the trees and we start on pronunciation. Bi, a, ba, bari, français, o, te, vish, te. The reasoning is, learn the basics and then, once you master letters, syllables, and words, you can pronounce sentences with a great accent. More often than not, this strategy falls flat on its face. How do we acquire our native accent? Well, by listening to countless sentences uttered all around us by our parents and friends. We learn from the top towards the bottom, and you can do exactly the same. Focus on listening to how entire sentences sound, and then work your way to refine the single sounds of the single elements of the sentence. Train your brain to see intonation patterns. Let's use Italiano as a reference. What do these 3 sentences have in common intonation-wise? Finalmente ho deciso di andare in Italia. Oggi ho imparato un po' di italiano. Ieri ho parlato con Luigi. Noticed anything? In all sentences, the pitch of your voice falls on the last word. Finalmente ho deciso di andare in Italia. Oggi ho imparato un po' di italiano. Ieri ho parlato con Luigi. What about this one set of sentences? Quando vuoi andare in Italia? Cosa hai fatto oggi? Con chi hai parlato ieri? You have probably noticed that these are all questions and the tone rises at the end. My simple point is that when you expose yourself to massive input and focus on the big picture, intonation, that is, how a sentence sounds overall, your subconscious will pick up the correct intonation patterns naturally. And if on top of that you also train your mind to identify these patterns both by ear and by eye, marking the pitch contours with a very cool pen, that is where the magic happens. Here's another challenge for you. Take a short piece of text in your target language that also comes with audio. Listen to it and start identifying how intonation patterns work. Does the pitch go up or down? Where? This will help you acquire the natural rhythm and melody of Italian, Dongguan, Ruski, or whatever language you're learning. This is what we teach in our own Speakeasy course, where you learn how to visually break down the sound structure of the language, a technique called sound chunking, to quickly acquire pronunciation and intonation for any language you can think of. You can learn to speak any language with a great accent by starting with your heart. Fall in love with the beautiful sound of Italian, Français, Espanol, Ruski. Listen as much as possible. Focus on sentences and break them down while listening actively. This approach will work wonders for you. And if you're ready to level up your speaking and pronunciation skills, I've got something really special just for you. A gift that will transform the way you sound in any language. Download my free training to master pronunciation and intonation like a pro. It's jam-packed with expert tips to help you speak more confidently, clearly, and naturally. Whether it's Italiano, Français, Ruski, Espanol, Dongguan, or any other language, don't miss out. Click the link in the description box or check out the pinned comment to grab your free training right now. Let's unlock the language genius in you. That's all for today, folks. Arrivederci, or should I say, arrivederci.